Good morning. We're going to do this beautiful boardwalk in Newburyport, Mass, right on the water. Really nice scene. A lot of nice big shapes. The only thing I'm going to do is move that boat forward a little bit so that it's not hanging off the edge of the painting. This nice dark shape here. That's our painting right there. People walking on the boardwalk. All right, I'll begin with I'm going to use Windsor blue, maybe a little ultramarine, and then just bring that down with a bunch of washes down the bottom, just adding water. You can see I added a little Windsor blue there just to get some streaks, some movement in the sky. All right, the water is Windsor blue with a touch of cadmium red, just a touch. Gives you a nice watercolor look, you know, the color of the ocean today. Changes every day. All right. So we'll just block in that ocean. And we'll bring it down. I added a little more Windsor blue. Brighten it up a little bit as it comes forward. Painting around the mast of the boat and the sail, curled up sail. Alright, that's the white boat in the water there, so it comes up to a boardwalk. There's a lower boardwalk for the sailors to get to their boat. All right, there's a piece of water there. All right, I'm going to put this violet. It's just a gray violet, it's ultramarine, a touch of cad red. Very light on all the shaded area. I'm going to leave a little strip of light on that fence on the railing there. It's a big wooden railing, but okay, and I'll block this in just to get the shape in. I added a little more ultramarine here. It gets very dark, as you'll see as we come along. All right, they have these really interesting lighting fixtures here. They're up on poles. They're just sort of protected by these wire grids, you know. So just take your time and paint these. There's a bunch of them, and we'll pop them in. I apologize for my head popping in here all the time. The camera was set above me and not its usual position. It was a little closer, so I wasn't aware of it. But you can see most of the work I'm doing here. All right, nice straight pole. Okay, Paul, go. Beautiful, you got it, yeah. All right, I made the base of these poles a little bit darker, so it almost looks like there's shadow on them, but there is a bunch of them, so take your time doing them. And each one's getting shorter and shorter as they go back. Part of the effect of creating a distance. There's a space in between that railing, goes all the way down, and it comes around to this side, so we'll pop that in. It just looks like a dark space, but you know. Get your head out of the way, Paul. Right, very dark underneath here. It's all very dark and warm. I just used ultramarine. So the top railing is a little lighter. I pushed it more towards the blue, towards the ultramarine. But it's really just a gray, you know, it's just a gray, so. All right. And so there you have it. Now I'm going to pop in the tree. The tree is very important. It's really a nice shape and hangs out over the boardwalk so that it casts a nice shadow on the people. So I started with ultramarine and a little touch of I think I used quinceanna there, really dark, almost black. And I added some yellow, so it's getting greener as it comes out to the edge. Most trees, as they come out to the edge, unless they're in deep shadow, get much lighter and warmer. You know, the sun is hitting some of them, so you can see I added some green. And on the bottom, it's really a lawn down there, so I added more yellow and just created that brighter green. I'm just adding some streaks of branches coming in and out of there, and they add a little, but you know, leave plenty of sky holes in your tree. It really helps a lot to create a form. All right, down to the boat. Little ultramarine, a touch of raw sienna, so it's a grayish blue. Just putting that on the back of the boat. It's going to dry much lighter, so all right. Right, the shadow reflection of the boat in the water there, and then it comes down underneath the boat. I just added more ultramarine to that. It's just water. I'm just pushing it up. It's a shadow. All right, so it's very dark inside the boat itself. So inside it goes up to the cabin. I just basically painted that with the gray that I was using, and then I added some raw sienna into it to warm it up a little bit. All right, I'm going to put some of these pilings in here, and they're in the shadow, so they're very dark. Ultramarine with a touch of quinceanna. And that one nice deep stroke. Create that. You can add a little to the ridge, the top there, and they go all the way around. So they go around, and once they turn, obviously you just see the tip of them. All right, so as they come around here, you're just going to see a little tip of the pilings as they turn the corner. All right. They go all the way down, and they get lighter as they go back. Everything's lighter as it goes back there. Come on, Paul, we can't see with your head in the way. All right, it's very dark underneath that. There's a little extension to that. And then there's some, not sure what these are, but there's some sort of, you know, casting these vertical lines. Looks like some kind of supports that are in there. I'm just adding a little more dark to that space. Okay, the ultramarine with a touch of cad red. There's some kind of wire going around to feed those lights. Okay. All right. Just a little cobalt blue, ultramarine up close, and it's casting, those trees are all casting a shadow all the way down. Pick up that drip. All the way down the boardwalk. Leave a few lights in between. See those little lights? They help a lot to cast the shadow. I put some figures on the boardwalk. I start with the heads. I pop in the heads so I know where they are, and then, you know, you can put the clothes on them, different colors, and all the way down. They get smaller and shorter as they go back. All right, give her a little pair of red shorts, red dress. Very fashionable. A little red way back there. And another one. Alright, these people have black shorts on, white tops. Take your time with this. This is a lot of fun. You know, you make these, you get to dress these people up and, you know, do some fashion work. All right. Nice. All right, so I'm giving her changing the color of her top. And then I'm going to put a couple of figures over here, darker. They're walking over by the tree, so they're in total shade. And I'll put a red top on her. I like to put red in people that are up front. It helps them to come forward and add some color to the painting. All right, we got enough people in there. We'll go back and touch them up a little bit. All right, there's a piece of land back there, very light. This is the violet with water. I'm just gonna. You can really just draw a line with a little, put some stuff on the top of that line like that. Just little suggestions of a piece of land way in the back. All right, little raw sienna on the sail itself. The dark side of the sail, it's canvas. Some kind of railing here around the boat. Take your time with the boat, it's adds a lot, Some red trim in there. I'm going to put a name on the back. I just made that up. Lucky One. Lucky One, Newburyport. All right, there's the mast. I'm not a sailor. I don't know what all these things are called. The jib, the rigging, and whatever. All right, so it goes up a little higher to pick up that, and it has some bars coming out, and they have ropes to support, all kinds of wires and supports going in and out of that. I'm going to add some boats way off in the distance. So this is just a black, dark color. It's not black. You don't want it to be, it's just a dark gray. Just adding some lines. They're basically straight lines. Don't try to paint boats. They're way off in the distance. If you want to put one up close, that's different. But way off, they're just, lines in the water. But you can see they work. It adds so much to it, That one has a mast on it, so, all fun stuff. Right, I'm going to go back with some gouache and create a bright, brighter white shirt on this fella, and maybe on this couple. Don't overdo it. It's so much fun using gouache because it makes things pop and it's easy to do. And but you can overdo it so easy. While I have it, I'm just going to stick some white boats back there too, next to the dark boats. Well, that adds a nice, atmosphere, sense of light. Clean up the edges on this sail. I painted this sail, the top of that sail, as it's, wound up there. It goes up the mast, and I paint it around. So I'm using white to bring it back out, making that sail pop. Little highlights on the boat here and there, make it jump. All right, adding another piling out there by the other boardwalk. It has a little shadow underneath it, and then there's some water there. It's much warmer, it's right in front of us. Leave a little pieces of light, and then the boardwalk is casting a shadow down onto that lower boardwalk. Okay, we'll add some of the ever-present seagulls, and they're crying and calling and so forth. All right, a lot of fun. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this scene. I hope you learned something. I appreciate you joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Thank you for joining me.